Alarms tear through the dock at 3 in the morning, and I am already running before I understand why. My name is Dessa Okonkwo, and the ship I bought for 400 credits 3 years ago is screaming a warning through every speaker in her hull. I skid into the command chamber with my boots still untied, my breath sharp in my throat, and the lights around me flash a color I have never seen her use before. "Talk to me," I say, gripping the edge of the console. "What is happening?" Her voice comes back rough and steady, the voice of a machine that has survived far worse nights than this one. "Unauthorized vessel approaching, weapons armed, intent hostile." Through the viewport I see it, a sleek gray cruiser drifting close, far too close, its hull marked with a crest I do not recognize. No station traffic control would allow a ship that size this near civilian docks unless someone had paid to look the other way. "Can you move us?" I ask. "Reactor output at 40%, full thrust available, weapons offline since decommission." Then we run. The old warship groans as her engines wake, metal creaking like an old man standing up too fast after years of sitting still. Dock clamps release with a shudder, and we drift free just as the first shot from the gray cruiser clips the space where our hull used to be. Not a warning shot, a message. "They are trying to disable our engines," she says. "Recommend evasive pattern. Do it, whatever you remember, whatever you have got." She banks hard to the left, and my stomach flips as the station lights spin past the viewport. Another shot streaks by, closer this time, close enough that the hull rattles and dust falls from a ceiling panel above me. "Who are these people?" I shout, more to myself than to her. "Insufficient data. Recommend contacting station authority." I slam my palm on the comm panel. "This is Dessa Okonkwo, registered owner of vessel Daybreak. I am under attack outside Dock 7. I need help now." Static answers first, then a voice, calm in a way that makes my skin crawl. "Station authority is aware of the situation. We advise you to surrender the vessel peacefully." My blood goes cold. "You are letting them attack me?" The vessel in question is of significant historical value. Certain parties believe it should not remain in private hands. I cut the channel before I say something I cannot take back. So this is not random. Someone wants my ship, and they have bought the silence of the very people meant to protect me. "Daybreak," I say. "How many people know your name is not just old scrap metal?" "Unknown. Estimate. Growing every day since your ownership was recorded in fair and commercial law." Another impact rocks the ship, this time from behind. My knees buckle, and I catch myself on the console, pain lighting up my palm where I hit metal too hard. "They are gaining," she says. "Their engines are newer, faster." Then we stop running in a straight line. "Give me options." There is a debris field 2 minutes from our position, remains of an old mining platform. Their sensors will struggle inside it. Ours are calibrated for combat conditions from 2 centuries ago. We may have an advantage. "Take us in." The ship dives toward a graveyard of broken metal, twisted girders and shattered hulls tumbling silently in the dark, like the bones of something enormous. My stomach lurches as we weave between chunks of debris the size of buildings, each one close enough to touch through the viewport glass. "Left," she says suddenly, and I do not question why a machine gives directions to herself before I realize she means she is asking permission, an old habit of a captain who once had a human crew to answer to. "Do it," I say. "Whatever keeps us alive." She twists hard, and a slab of broken metal passes so close, I hear it scrape along the outer plating. Somewhere behind us, an explosion lights up the debris field, orange for half a second. The gray cruiser fired at a target that was never there, and hit a piece of dead metal instead. "Their sensors are struggling," she confirms, as predicted. "How long until they adjust?" 90 seconds, perhaps less. 90 seconds is not enough to disappear, but it might be enough to think. I press my hand against the cold wall of the command chamber, feeling the vibration of 200 years of history holding itself together around me. You said your weapons are offline, I say. Since decommission, does that mean they still exist? A pause, longer than I like. Confirmed. Primary weapon systems intact but unpowered. Reactor output insufficient for full charge. What if it does not need to be full? What if it just needs to be enough to make them think twice? Explain your intention. A warning shot, something loud, something that tells them this old ship still has teeth. Another pause, and I swear I can feel her considering it, weighing the request the way an old soldier weighs an order she has not heard in far too long. Redirecting auxiliary power to forward cannon. Charge time, 40 seconds. We do not have 40 seconds. Then we make 40 seconds count. She twists again, sharper this time, and pain jolts through my shoulder as I am thrown against the console. Outside, the gray cruiser breaks free of the debris field's confusion and locks onto us properly now, its shape growing larger in the viewport with every passing second. Charge at 60%, she says. They are closing. Come on, I whisper, not sure if I am talking to her or to whatever luck got me through that scrapyard auction 3 years ago. Charge at 80%. They are opening fire. The ship shudders as something grazes our side, and an alarm I do not recognize joins the chorus, already screaming around me. Sparks fall from a conduit near my head, and I duck without thinking, heart hammering so hard I can feel it in my teeth. Charge complete, she says. Awaiting your order. I look at the gray cruiser filling the viewport, close enough now that I can see individual lights along its hull, close enough that whoever is inside it can probably see me too. Fire, I say. The old ship shudders with a sound I feel in my bones, a deep and ancient roar that seems to come from somewhere far older than the machine itself. A single beam of light cuts across the dark and clips the edge of the gray cruiser's hull, not enough to destroy it, but enough to send it spinning away, lights flickering, systems clearly stunned by a weapon it never expected an old wreck to still carry. Silence follows. A silence so complete I can hear my own breathing echo off the walls. Direct hit, Daybreak says quietly. Their systems are down. They are drifting. I sink into the pilot's chair, legs shaking too hard to hold me any longer. Are they finished? Disabled, not destroyed. They will recover in time, but not soon enough to follow us. I let out a breath I did not know I was holding, and for a moment, the only sound is the low hum of a reactor that just proved it, still remembers how to fight. You saved us, I say. We saved us, she corrects gently. You gave the order. I only remembered how. I laugh, a short and shaky sound, more relief than joy. 200 years asleep, and you still had that in you. I was built to protect. Some things do not fade, even in silence. Station authority calls again minutes later, their voice suddenly much less calm than before, asking what happened, demanding a report, suddenly very interested in helping now that the danger has passed. I do not answer. Let them wonder. Let them explain to whoever paid for that gray cruiser why their plan failed against a ship everyone told them was nothing but scrap. I sit in the quiet afterward, watching the stars settle back into their slow and patient crawl across the viewport, and I think about how close I came to losing everything for the second time in 3 years. Daybreak, I say after a while. Why did you not just refuse to fire? You could have said the risk was too high. Because you asked, she says simply, and because I have spent 200 years waiting for someone to ask me for anything at all. Something in her voice, or maybe just in the way the lights pulse gentle and slow around me, makes my chest tighten in a way that has nothing to do with fear. Then let us give people a reason to stop asking for you, I say. Let us finish those repairs. Let us make sure nobody looks at you and sees an easy target ever again. Acknowledged, she says, and for the first time since I met her, I hear something in that old gravel voice that sounds almost like hope. We drift on through the dark together, an old ship and a woman who once mopped floors for 11 credits an hour, both of us a little bruised, both of us very much alive, and both of us finally, truly awake.